Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler and today we are doing round 3 of the quest for King Civivi. In round 3 we have the Civivi Durus versus the Civivi Butter Knife. Just mess with you. Versus the Civivi McKenna. See how I planned that out and set that up since the get-go, that was the funniest fucking thing in the world. Alright, so this is round 3. Justin, you've probably been waiting for this one and dreading this day because you're going up against my Durus, which has recently been semi-dethroned by our Ferrum Forge Falcon, which was hiding right there. Funny enough, in that one is the mini Bull Mastiff, and that one is the Bull Mastiff. Just thought that's interesting. Anyways, so we've been kind of waiting for this day. And we will see how this plays out. Again, we rate everything on aesthetics, ergos, quality feel, fidget factor, carry, blade, and then value. Now, none of these outweigh the other. There's other viewers or YouTubers that kind of weigh one more than the other if there's a tie. By the freak chance that there is a tie, I will take the winner via votes in the comments section. But if you know me and my Durus, you're probably not going to need to do that. You know what I mean? So, getting on with it. Aesthetics. I have to be 100% honest with myself when I talk about aesthetics. And just the way that thing glows because it's in the light, it's kind of hilarious. I opened the Civivi Durus and kind of hated it when I first got it. You guys didn't see that. It's not the look of this knife that draws me to it. It's just simply not. We'll get into that as it kind of goes, and you guys already know my feel about the Durus. I really do have to give the aesthetics, which is purely subjective, and my own opinion. Most of this is my opinion based on a little bit more data than just I like the looks of it, right? But I have to give the aesthetics to the McKenna. I believe that Civivi kind of went outside of their normal realm. It is way different than most other Civivis, and there's a lot of things to love about the way this knife looks. And the unique, it's just unique. You don't get knives like this. This is, when you carry this in your pocket, you feel like you're carrying something different than anybody else. This one, yes, it's a stubby little fat fucker, but it doesn't look much different than the Praxis. It doesn't look much different than the Backlash, the little baby of the two. And there's nothing unique about this knife. I mean, shit. Look at this. The Ferrum Forge Falcon. I'm not saying these two look alike, but they're not far off, right? I mean, it's a very similar, just, okay, let's take this skeleton and move on. So I have to give the aesthetics to the McKenna. Sorry, Durus. Moving on. Ergos. Everybody knows my answer to this. This bad mamma jamma has one of the best ergos of any knife that I have in my arsenal. I think it rivals that of a Manix 2. The only thing that I like, I don't know if I like this better, I just like the feel of this with the titanium better. But the Durus' ergonomics are insane and off the charts. That's not saying the McKenna's is bad, but the McKenna's, the Durus, let's move on. Let's just say the ergos on the Durus are a million times better than most other knives, not just the McKenna. Sorry, McKenna. All right, as you can see, I'm trying to rip through this. I hate giving you guys 30-minute videos. I haven't gotten too much feedback either or, but due to my analytics, most of you don't watch most of the video, which is fine. But if you want to get all the content, which I want you to get the content if you're going to take the time to even click on the channel, I want to make this fast for you. If I feel like I'm rushing, please leave it in the comments. Tell me I'm rushing, but my goal is not to rush here. It's not the point. I just kind of want to get you guys a shorter video. And see, me rambling like this takes on about 30 seconds. Moving on to quality feel. Again, this is a subjective view of how these are. And because they're both Civivis, I am not going to say, let's go off of quality. Because Civivi quality, it would be different if I was comparing these two, right? Two totally different knives from two totally different makers. But I'm not. I'm not even comparing these two, right? I mean, just showing off a couple knives that I'm sitting on. I'm comparing two Civivis. And yes, one design is by Isham, one is a Civivi in-house design. That does not mean that the quality is better. They're made by the same manufacturer, so I have to go off of quality feel. So what I do to figure out quality feel, I grab it, I feel the ergonomics, I feel, does it feel weak anywhere? You know, when I pick this guy up and I'm thinking this guy's gonna feel weak somewhere, and it doesn't. I mean, if you wanna go perfectly centered, the Durus, even after me jacking around with it so much, perfectly centered. And if you guys are wondering, I did do these custom scales myself. Not really custom scales, I just dyed them myself. So if you're wondering where the hell I got that color, that's it. So I do have to give a quality feel as a tie for these. In the past with other Civivis, I've said this one feels better than the other, and that's because it did. These two I carry in hand, and I do not feel a significant difference one over the other. I do not feel one feels less quality. Do I feel like the Durus can do a little bit more work? For sure, but it's a beefier knife, and that's kind of what it's built into it. You know, so that doesn't mean that the quality's less. The action on them both are great. In fact, the Civivi small lineup with these knives are insane. I mean, such a lightweight blade to be able to make an ass out of myself when it's not doing it on camera. But and then you got the Durus with this heavier blade doing the same thing, right? As you can tell, I haven't really oiled these up before this video. Quality feel, tie. Which brings me to the next category, which I kind of hit on. Fidget factor. These are both fidgety knives. I would sit here and love doing this all day. Kind of need to clean that out. But I love doing this all day too. Now, where one pulls away from the other, so I want you to watch this. I haven't done anything to this McKenna. Well, god damn it. There's something so satisfying about a lightweight blade being able to do something like that. This drop shut with just a little flick. And now, yes, this is dirty. And this still does it. I try to front flip it. Dumbass. You know, it's just dirty, that's all. But that one still does it. But the smaller blade, I'm really impressed with the way this can do this. Second to this, second whatever kind of fucking thing you want. So, the lock, the frame lock, or the liner lock rather. The McKennas, I'm finding myself more and more attracted to liner locks that are softer. Why? Because you don't feel any fatigue on your hand as you're flipping back and forth. So you can sit here. I'm retarded. And do that all day. Right? Not saying you can't with this. I'm not saying this even bites into your hand. But I can already feel twice as much or 3 times as much pressure on the Durus. And the jimping's a little bit different. No, it's the exact same jimping. It just feels... Let's take a look. And it's probably due to thinner. I don't know. The stock looks the same. This just feels so much thinner. Now, we talked about quality feel. Neither of these have blade play. So it doesn't make sense that this has a thinner feel, but I'm telling you right now it does. I can feel it firsthand. The fidget factor goes to the McKenna. So those of you keeping score, aesthetics and fidget factor are for the McKenna. Ergos for the Durus. And then the quality feel is a tie. McKenna is winning right now. Don't get your hopes up, Justin. Just gotta tell you that, bro. The carry. Well, no freaking shit. It goes to the McKenna. Why does the carry go to the McKenna? Because. Just because. Let's just once again put this into perspective. And you can just see why the carry goes to the freaking McKenna. Look at that. This thing is insane. It's got, yes, this is sticking up a little bit, but we already talked about the deep carry thing, and especially on a knife that's as big as a freaking pea pod, obviously it's going to have a better carry factor. Does that mean the Durus is bad? No. It just means the McKenna's carry is friggin' fantastic. You can carry that thing, and, I mean... I don't remember what the weight is. I have my scale, but I'm not going to bust that. It's insane. Insane. You don't even know it's there. So let's go to the blade. This is a hard one because these are two totally different blade shapes. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, I believe these are both D2. Let's just double check for my own sanity so I don't look like an asshole. Yes, these are both D2. So, same steel. Nobody really wins there. What can I do more with? Look at this blade. Now look at this. God damn it. You ruined my setup, bro. All right. Now look at this blade. This blade looks cool. It's got that full flat grind. We got this nice hollow grind. Probably the same thickness behind the edge, if not more so for the McKenna. Is the McKenna stupid slicey? Yes. Do I feel like if I'm cutting plastic banding with this at work around baled aluminum scrap that it's going to break? Kinda. I feel like I can break this blade. This blade, I don't feel like I can break because it's a birth child of the Praxis and the Backlash. I'm not saying that one is more slicey than the other because I don't know how to rate the two with two different totally blade shapes. The sliciness is kind of a subjective view in itself. So I do have to give the blade and the usefulness to the Durus. Before we get into value, let's do a quick recap. The McKenna has the aesthetics, the fidget factor, and the carry. The Durus has the ergos and the blade, and then the quality feel is a tie. Jumping into value. Let's take a drink here. A little bit of Dr. Pepper and vodka there. All right. Value. The Durus is coming in at about $65, while the McKenna is coming in at $68. If you were looking at pure material alone, if these were the same exact price, the Durus would smash the McKenna in value just because of the material built into it. But it's a $3 difference between the two knives, first and foremost. Second, you are getting a very unique knife in the McKenna, whereas the Durus is pretty much a cookie cutter knife. Does that hurt the value? No. But the Isham design, whether or not you like Isham, and the fact that this designer put his name on this knife, the McKenna, and it's only $3 more than the Durus, I think means a lot. Yes, it's a much smaller knife, but I don't know how to quantify that pricing that close when you're getting such more of a custom-ish design. Honestly, and this kills my heart to say, I believe the McKenna is a better value from an enthusiast point of view. If I was looking at this from a user and purely strictly user point of view, I would have to give it to the Durus. It's $3 cheaper, and I feel like you can use the Durus for more shit. That being said, from an enthusiast perspective, from somebody who collects knives, which one is worth more? You know, with everything the same, short of the fact that one has the Elijah Isham design to it and such a unique look, it's got to go to the McKenna, guys. That means that my McKenna, or my Durus, just got smashed by the McKenna, 4-2. I am not happy about that. I hate that fact. And this is why looking at this is how you can tell that I look at this from a relatively objective view rather than my own personal bias. Because the Durus, as any of you know who have been talking to me, know that the Durus is my go-to sub 3-inch knife or at 3-inch knife. I love it. The Falcon's kind of taken over, but that doesn't mean the Durus doesn't have a home. So I have to give this win to the McKenna. Civivi, Quest for Civivi. Quest for the King Civivi. Round number 3. Durus versus the McKenna. Here's the one that advances. As sad as it is to say, this has been Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay sharp, stay out of the riots, stay corona free, wear your friggin' masks. Take care of each other.